Hi fellow crafters. Are you running low on Christmas Designer Series paper and you still need to make some more holiday cards? Well, I have the perfect solution for you using one ink pad color, one stamp set, one pack of dies, two cardstock colors, and a few other products that I already know you have lying around. Are you ready to see this gorgeous Christmas card idea? Hey everyone, I'm Terri from nutsaboutsstamping.com. I love sharing techniques and project ideas for rubber stamping, paper crafting, and scrapbooking with you each week. Be sure to hit that red subscribe button and the bell beside it so that you'll be the first to be notified when my next video goes live. And make sure to watch all the way through my video for my bonus tips and design ideas and for a second card idea using the same set of products. Shall we get started? Did you know that there are 23 dies in the Stitch Stars pack? This means you can create a variety of custom die-cut stars with or without faux stitching. So you can see that some of them have this lovely faux stitching detail, and this one does as well, but some of them do not. There are so many ways that you can use these dies, and I'm just going to feature one of them. And that's what I'm going to start off with. What I want to do is take this particular star from the dies pack, and I want to die cut it 5 times. Now, as you can tell, this is quite an intricate star, which means that after I die cut them out, it might be a little bit complicated to add glue without making a sort of a smeared mess on my card. So I have a great tip for you. Stampin' Up! Has some adhesive sheets that are in the annual catalog, and they're perfect for delicate or intricate kinds of dies like this. Now, this is an older pack. Stampin' Up! Used to sell the Sizzix adhesive sheets. Now I'm not sure the brand, but I will link to them in the description box underneath this video so you can have a look at it. But it's perfect. I'm going to use up the leftover pieces of these Sizzix sheets for the purpose of this video. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of basic white cardstock and I've cut it just a little bit larger than the size of the die. And then I did the same thing. You can run this adhesive sheet through your paper cutter, and I created one that's exactly the same size as the basic white layer that I need. And then what I'm going to do is try and peel off. I think this is the most complicated part of using the adhesive sheets, is to get it to separate from its cover. There we go. So I'm going to peel off the top cover, and this is the sticky part. And I want to put the sticky part on the back of my basic white layer, like so. And then I can run my star through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and it creates a sticker. So what I've done was, before the video began, I added adhesive sheets to 4 other squares that are exactly the same size as this one. And what I want to do is run it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So obviously I'm going to have to do that 5 times. Let me just move these aside for right now. And then I decided that for the inside of my card, I wanted a smaller star embellishment. This star comes from the same pack of dies, and I did exactly the same thing. I have a piece of basic white, and on the back, I attached a sticker sheet so that it's ready, or an adhesive sheet, so it's ready to run through and create a sticker. So let me show you one, and then I'll go ahead and do the rest, so you don't have to sit there and watch me do this 6 times or 5 times. So I can put one big one on, and then the little one, and then I'll put my top plate on, and then I'll run it through. And I think because I have 2 layers, what I'm going to do is run it forward and back, like so. Let's have a look. And, whoops, what it does is then you're going to need a tool to help you poke the star away from the die, like so. And what you have is the sticker sheet is on the back, and it's another layer. You can peel it off and stick it on, which I'll show you in a minute. So there's my small star, and here is my larger star. So I'm just going to poke it out of the die, poke out all these little extra bits, and then it is ready to apply to my card. So I'm going to stop the video now, and I'm going to take my remaining 4 pieces of basic white cardstock that have the sticker sheets on the back. I'll run them through, and I'll be back and show you the next step in making this beautiful, simple Christmas card idea. And there are all the stars ready to be added as elements on my card. The next step that I want to do is use my Poinsettia Petals stamp set to create a phrase for the front of my card. Now, as you know, I love this stamp set because I really believe it's perfect for creating a variety of holiday cards. Not only the images, which you can use to create poinsettia flowers, but I use the set for its amazing phrases as well. Now, I'm not going to be using the dies today, but I am going to use the Merry Christmas image. I've got that mounted to a clear block. And I have a strip of basic white cardstock, and I have my Misty Moonlight ink. And that's the ink color, the one ink color I'm going to be using on my card today. So I've inked up the phrase. I'm going to stamp it down onto the basic white layer. Oh, I love this color, and I love it for Christmas. I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to come back and use the ink in a minute. And then now I have a layer of Misty Moonlight that I'm going to adhere my phrase to. So I've got my adhesive, and I'll layer this down like so. All right, so now it's time to create this gorgeous holiday card, knowing that we don't have any designer series paper to use on the front. Now, the next step for making this beautiful Christmas card is to create a layer for the front of my card. Keeping in mind, as I said at the beginning of the video, if you don't have any Christmas designer series paper left over, this is the way you can create a beautiful layer for the front of your card. So I'm going to bring back in my Misty Moonlight ink, and I'm going to create this layer using one of my blending brushes. So this is a perfect way to add color to a plain sheet of basic white cardstock or a plain layer. And here's how you do it. What you do is you tap your brush lightly, then you start off the card and then roll your brush, or I use a circular motion, and you add ink to this layer. Then you go back, you start off, and then you can add on like so. So I'm going to start at the bottom of this layer quite light, and then I'm going to make it a little bit darker next. And then I'm going to go back, and then again blending my color and brushing my color across this layer. And again, I want to get darker and darker and darker towards the top. So we're going actually from light to dark, like so. And then once you have that done, you can sort of step back and have a look and say to yourself, maybe I want it to be a little bit darker at the bottom, which is what I'm thinking I want for my layer. Obviously, you can do what you want for your layer. And I love how when you're brushing color on, it looks like it's in motion, which I think adds such beauty to this layer. Okay, like so. So you can see I've got light, sort of medium. Maybe I'll add just a little bit more to the medium part. And then dark at the bottom. Let's make it really dark at the bottom. Like so. Okay, now it's time to bring back in, let me just show you how this is looking. See, you don't need Christmas paper when you've got something beautiful like this that you can create using a blending brush and one color of ink. So now I'm going to bring back in my larger stars, and I'm going to adhere them to the front of this layer or on top of this layer. So as you know, we've created the stickers. So you just peel off the sheet from the sticker, and it's nice and sticky now. And what I'm going to do is adhere my stars to this layer with a little bit of overhang on some of them, not all of them, but some of them. And again, that gives this sort of impression of motion. And I want my stars to be going in different directions, just for visual interest. Okay. That's my next one. And I'm going to put it like that. Now I've got two more. Okay, there's my next one. I'm going to put mine like that. And then my last one, I'm going to put down here towards the bottom. So if you want, you can copy this idea exactly, or you can also, you have the opportunity to use different size stars on the front. I think I'll do that like so. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in my paper snips, and what I want to do is trim off, let me just press these down really well. I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to trim off any of the overhang pieces of the stars, like so. And there we go. We have a beautiful layer for the front. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to bring in my phrase, and I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. And I am going to put my phrase right on top of a couple of my stars, like that. And then I want to, I'm just going to put this little star aside for a second, and I want to bring in a piece of cardstock that I'm going to be using for my base, which is Misty Moonlight. So we've got 2 colors of cardstock, 1 color of ink, 1 blending brush, and 1 stamp set that has a Christmas phrase. I'm going to turn this over and everything is sticky. I'm going to adhere this to my card base like so. Isn't that pretty? Now, this final star, I am going to add as an embellishment on the inside of my card. I probably add maybe a small square of basic white so that I can write or add another phrase on the inside. Or I could use one of those white chalk markers, and I could, or like a gel pen, a white gel pen, and I could write my message inside. So our card is almost done, but now it's time to add some embellishments. Now in the next mini catalog, there are some iridescent rhinestone basic jewels, which I think are so pretty. And so I thought it would be fun to use some of them on the front of my card. So I'm going to use the small ones and I am going to just randomly attach some of these jewels like so, and I'm going to put one on either side of my Merry Christmas. And then I think I'll have one final one right there. And there we go. I have a beautiful Christmas card idea that was so easy to create using the supplies that I have on hand, keeping in mind that I didn't have any Christmas paper, but I still managed to create a beautiful Christmas card idea. Now let me show you another one. This Christmas card, the layer on the front went from dark down to light. Well, let me show you what it looks like the other way. This time I did light down to dark, but I followed the exact same idea, and I used a different set of embellishments for the front of my card because I didn't have the iridescent basic jewels that just arrived this week. But you can see that no matter how you apply your ink, you'll end up with a beautiful Christmas card idea. And I have a quick question for you. What products would you like me to use next? Why don't you let me know in the comments section for this video? If you would like a complete listing of the supplies that I used and the measurement for all of the cardstock pieces, I'll have those listed over on my blog, www.nutsaboutstamping.com. I'll leave a link to the blog post in the description box below and a link to my online store in case you would like to purchase the products I used to make this card. I'm Terry. I'm nuts about stamping. I hope you'll try this beautiful Christmas card idea someday soon. Bye for now.